Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, here in the Hustling Strip, where we want to talk to Jenlins and start the Stormblood Paladin questline. Tournament of the Century. Serenia, precisely the woman I wish to see. I have something in my care for you. An invitation to a fighting tournament to be held at the Colosseum. Not just any tournament, mind you, but the prestigious Ul Cup, founded by His Royal Majesty Sasagan Ul Sisigan, first Sultan of Ul'dah. 'Tis nigh on as old as the nation itself. Lest you wonder why you are unfamiliar with so old and prestigious a tournament, it's because it has not been held in generations. At the Sultana's behest, it has been revived, and she now extends an invitation to Eorzea's finest swordsman. It stands to reason that your name would appear among this exalted company, and doubt not but that her grace shall be pleased for your participation. So, can we expect you to fight in the tournament? Sure, where do I sign up? Wonderful. By witnessing you in combat, I dare say all of us sultansworn, both fresh recruits and veterans alike, stand to gain something in our duty to protect. The champion will be awarded a tome set to hold the secret techniques of a first captain of a sultansworn. With such an enticing prize on offer, no small number of invitees have already confirmed their participation, I myself included. You should confirm yours as well by making yourself known to the tournament register on the Royal Promenade. Greetings to you, good madam. You are come to enter the Ul Cup. Your invitation, if you would be so kind. Yes, everything appears to be in order. On behalf of the committee, I bid you welcome to the tournament. Wait, you're participating too? To think that I might have a chance to cross swords with a fabled hero, such as you. The tournament cannot begin soon enough. You needn't wait long, for the opening ceremony will begin any time now. I'm told a number of participants have already gathered before the Gladiators Guild. Perhaps you might like to join them? Constrained. Serenia, good to see you. Am I correct in assuming you are participating in the tournament? Yep. Wonderful. Rovo I still am. I also received an invitation. Captain Jenlins work I suspect. But no, that I do not intend to simply make up the numbers. Since last we met, I have trained without cease. Such improvements I have made, I hope to demonstrate to you in a rematch. You got business with me? Too bad. I got none with you. Leave me be and find someone else to bother. Like Miller. You're fighting in the tournament? You look pretty strong, but it's Black Altus that's gonna win. That's Lotus. Black Lotus. Yeah, what he said. He's the strongest and he always protects me. If you fight him, you better watch out. Serenia, have you spoken with the captain? He's holding onto your invitation. I have. Already entered. Marvelous. We all look forward to witnessing your skill at arms, and if the gods are good, I shall witness them up close and personal. Sir Handaloop! Serenia, a pleasure as always. Are you perchance entering the tournament? Well then, this has become infinitely more interesting. Lest you wonder, I'm joining the field as a representative of the Temple Knights. For the honor of our order, I have every intention of winning. Do not hold back, my friend, because neither will I. Fronts the fair. And what can I do for you this most beauteous evening? Shall I sign your flyer with my mark, perhaps? A contest? A contestant, really? Well then, you would do well to pray you are not drawn against me. Before my beauteous skill, your defeat is all but assured. Been a while since we've talked to Miller. Well, if it isn't Zerania, that you would visit us at this juncture could only mean one thing. You're entering the Ul'dah. Yep. Good. You're one of our very best, and it pleases me to see you continue seeking new challenges. And mark my word, this will be a challenge the likes of which you have never experienced. This tournament brings together the realm's finest. If you are to rise above them, nothing less than a complete preparation will suffice. Speaking of preparation, have you been apprised of the rules? Nope. Then allow me to explain. The tournament is elimination. You lose, you go home. You win, you advance to the next match, and on it goes until a champion emerges. Simple enough. Combatants are initially divided into two groups, Nult and Thal. Sounds fancy, but they're simply labels given to two branches of a tournament tree. Look, Serenia, one of your potential opponents. Knowing is half a battle, and you do well to learn all you can of the competition. Oh, if it isn't the woman who forged me my winglet! 'Tis a fine weapon, and I'm wholly satisfied with it. But don't think this earns your favor should we meet in the tournament. Indeed, any less than my all would be an affront to both blade and blacksmith. Oh dear, is it that time already? The opening ceremony is about to commence. Shall we then? Right, I did forge his weapon. That was a blacksmith questline, I believe, 45, 50? Okay, shall we then, yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, today I bid you welcome to the Colosseum for a truly special event. To introduce it, it gives me great pleasure to call upon Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul'Namo. Generations ago, my ancestor Sasagan Ul'Sisigan founded a tournament to celebrate the skill of our nation's finest swordsmen. 100 years have passed since it was last held. By this declaration, I do hereby revive the Ul'Dah. Let it be known that all proceeds from this event shall go toward our continuing refugee relief efforts. My dear combatants, my fellow citizens and I look forward to an inspiring performance from all of you. May Nightfall give strength to your sword arm. Thank you, Your Grace. Next, I would invite Master Adrian, Colosseum colonist for the Mithril Eye, to share some insight into our combatants. What are your impressions on the field, Adrian? Well, Dara, I'd say it's as diverse a field I've seen on the Blood Sands. In addition to everyone's favorite gladiators in your friendly neighborhood sultansworn, we have an Ishgardian knight as well as an acclaimed adventurer. Truly a colorful cast of characters, all of whom bring their unique take on swordplay. With such an eclectic mix of fighting styles clashing, would you say that we're in for a veritable treat for the senses? Yes, I would, Dara. At this stage, it's anyone's guess who will claim the title. But one thing is certain. When the match bell rings, you cannot afford to bet your eyelids. Keep watching this space, for the preliminary rounds are about to begin. Okay. The tournament brings together realm's finest. If you had to rise above them, nothing less than complete preparation will suffice. Before your turn comes to step into the arena, I suggest you put what time you have to good use, be it owning your skills or upgrading your gear. It begins, Serenia. There are 8 combatants in each group, meaning you must triumph in 3 bouts in order to advance to the finals. And the opponent of your first bout is Bartolomeo of the Sultansworn. Defeat him, and you will face the victor of another pairing, and so on. Needless to say, each encounter will be more difficult than the last, but one fight at a time. The tournament register will call you when it's time to take to the Bloodsins. Go now, and good luck! To think I would draw you on for my very first opponent. I thank the heavens even as I curse them. But no matter who my opponent might be, I shall fight with all of my being for the pride of the Sultansworn. See you on the Bloodsins, my friend. It is time, my lady. Pray see to your final preparations and let me know when you are ready to proceed. Yeah, I'm level 80 and I have, I believe, 78 equipment. So this will... It begins the first match of a file group. Bartolomeo takes on Serenia Shadowstar. No holding back, my friend. This? Just for trolls. Defeating him with magic. The next fight, Serenia Shadowstar and her Bronze Bull will fight for a place in the file group final. Whoops, click. A final match of a file group, Handelup versus Serenia. That looks strong. Ooh. And Serenia defeats Hendeloop to claim victory in the Foul group. That was hard. Oh, Hendeloop was strong. That concludes all matches for the Foul group, and what heart-stopping encounters they were. Verily, Dara, the crowd expected and the combatants delivered, not least of all the group winner Serenia Shadowstar, who carved a convincing path to the final. Shall we retrace our steps for those who came in late? You read my mind. Serenia's first match pitted her against Bartholomew. The sultansworn fought with heart, but in the end he was outclassed by the star adventurer. Though he can take pride in his effort, unfortunately he had to take his leave of the tournament. There was no getting past Serenia, who went on to face the hulking Bronze Bull. A veteran at countless matches here in the Colosseum, you could say he had the ground advantage. From the onset the man brought his prodigious strength to bear, unleashing wave upon wave of punishing attacks, but Serenia calmly weathered them all to emerge the victor. With that, she advanced to the Foul group's final match against Hendeloop of the Temple Knights. Employing blistering techniques seldom seen this side of Eorzea, the Ishgardian visitor looked dangerous indeed. If truth be told, for a moment there I feared for Serenia, but the adventurer dug deep to secure victory, and a place in the World Cup final. Ah, the mere remembering of it set my heart to racing like a runaway chocobo. Take deep breaths, my friend, for there is still more excitement to come. The Nalt group matches are due to commence shortly, with the likes of First Sword Miller taking to the Blood Sands. What have I done to deserve such a treat? I won't be missing these matches, and neither should any of you. All unfolds as anticipated. Good. The free Paladin I told you about is living up to expectations, aye? That she is. Keep up your winning ways, my friend, and win us a fortune. Serenia, you were magnificent. Our match will remain etched into my memory and inspire me always. I had absolutely no answer to you. Such precious things you must have protected to become so strong. As you know, we Sultansworn live to protect her grace. By any measure, this is a vital duty, ever do I strive to be worthy of the role. but crossing swords with you this day, it has given me to think that perhaps it is not enough. Whatever it is I yet lack, mayhap I shall find it in witnessing you. I thought I had something of a chance, but was clearly getting ahead of myself. You gave me a thorough schooling, and I mean to take the lesson to heart. Though the tournament may be over, I shall remain in Ul'dah to watch the matches to come, and I believe I speak for all of us here when I wish you the best of luck. Our hopes go with you now, my friend. Oh, a woman named Miller was looking for you. If you hadn't already spoken with her, maybe you should seek her out. A place in the final. I knew you had it in you, but to witness it all unfold was nothing short of awe-inspiring. The winner of a Nalt group will square off against you for the title, and suffice it to say, I intend to be that person. I shall see to it that the match between us becomes a reality, and I hope that I can count on your support. The Nalt group matches are about to begin. As you will eventually be fighting one of us, I suggest you watch every match closely. The tournament usher outside will grant you access to the viewing gallery. Now then, I'd best be set about my preparation. Let us speak again later. Greetings, my lady. Will you be watching the Nalt group matches? Yes. And so the Nalt group has been pared down to 2 combatants. While we wait for the match to begin, let us look back to the group's notable encounters. In the first round, local darling Franz the Fair crossed blade with Constained, free Paladin of Ishgard. Though the pundits tipped France to be the outright favorite, the younger Constained refused to be cowed, tenaciously staying in the game before landing a single mighty blow that ended the proceedings. Undoubtedly one of the upsets of the tournament, and most upsetting for all the maidens the realm over. Oh, because the other one. By that victory, Constained booked a meeting with First Sword Miller, who had predictably triumphed in her own opening match. For those of you who were banking on another upset, however, it was not to be. From the opening moments, it was plain that from his sluggish movements that Constained's early exertions had taken their toll. Meanwhile, the First Sword was all business. With her textbook perfect technique and methodical maneuvering, she took firm control of the halfway mark and didn't let go until her opponent was on his knees. And I believe preparations for the tournament's penultimate match are in order. Miller, First Sword of a Gladiators Guild, would take to the arena against Black Lotus, the mysterious contestant who had soundly defeated all comers. And Black Lotus advances to the Ul Cup final. In another nail-biting clash, the First Sword showed her class against an unknown opponent. However, Black Lotus kept up with her blow for blow and seemingly out of nowhere clinched victory with a magnificent parry. So sublime was the timing, it calls to mind the Sword of Nalt. Now that you mention it, I can definitely see the resemblance, and with that sublime strike, our second Ul Cup finalist has been decided. Serenia Shadowstar will take on the mysterious Black Lotus in a battle that promises to go down in Colosseum, nay, Ul'dah history. Please look forward to it. I know I will. She lost. Miller lost. Bah! So much for the lauded first sword. What will we do? That Black Lotus could ruin everything. If he ends up winning the tournament, we'd be neck deep in debt paying what's owed. Fret not, my friend. We already know Black Lotus strings. As a matter of fact, we are pulling them as we speak. Truly? Do I not always say one can never have too many guarantees? To think that one more beauteous than me should be found in Ishgard. Well, there's not for it but to train harder and grow more beauteous. That Black Lotus fellow though. There's something familiar about him. A beauteous ferocity I swear I'd seen before. But I cannot remember where. Miller is truly a complete fighter, and she gave me nary a flaw or opening to exploit. I can see why she's the guildmaster. Well, my little campaign may be over, but I take heart in the knowledge that yours continues. I shall pray for your victory. From technique to sheer strength, that Black Lotus was a class above me in all aspects. What's more, he fought with a ferocious style that resembled... But never mind that. Dwelling on it won't change the result. I was bested in a fair contest, and I shall give credit where it's due. My only regret is that I could not meet you in the final, Serenium. It falls to you now to bring pride to our guild's name. Oh, after that match, Black Lotus came and said that he wished a word with you. The way he mentioned your name gave me the impression that he knew you, but then again, many people do. At any rate, I don't see any harm in obliging the man. If you can spare a moment, he asks that you come to the quicksand. You can threaten me all you want, but I ain't pulling out. It's poor form, see? Well, far be it from me to ruin your form, but there's a trivial matter I would bring to your attention. You bastard. Very trivial, yes. I'm sure you will make the right decision. You were listening, eh? Don't worry, it's nothing I can't handle. Look, I know I asked you to come here, but something's come up. We'll have to do this another time. Well, did you meet Black Lotus? Postponed, you say? I wonder what he wanted. If nowhere else, you could always try chatting in the arena. It would hardly be the first time folk got talkative in battle. I must say though, the disappointment of elimination is swiftly giving way to anticipation. I look forward to seeing you clash with Black Lotus and, needless to say, come away with a win. I think this is a perfect time to end this episode. And until next time, when we continue in the arena, maybe or maybe not. Anyway, until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.